Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I was actually caught just doing something else while we came. I wasn't watching. I was editing the last podcast, putting that on. But yes, how's everybody doing? Welcome to our pre-recorded and world famous marathon talk, where young Hayden and I talk about our favourite subjects, which is Hayden.
Running marathons.
There we go. Firstly, this by the way, if you're new to our marathon talk, we tend to just hang out for about half hour and talk about stuff. And tonight we're going to be talking about the New York City Marathon because that's coming away. We've both done it, and we wanted to talk about that. Also, want to talk a little bit about Chicago, talk about some of the other stuff that's going on in the world of marathons. But before we do that, I do want to give our sponsor Skechers a big shout out, especially if you're over here in the UK. Head over to skechers.co.uk. And check out the new Aero lineup. But yes, a mad love to them. Bro, is that a new Abbott's t-shirt you've got on?
No. This is the one I got. When did I get this? I got it earlier this year, to be fair. Yeah, so newish. I bought a new hat actually at Chicago, a new Abbott's one. They're not cheap, this Abbott stuff. It's really expensive.
But a question, and I didn't rate the, as we know, if you've listened to the live recording we did last week when you're listening to this, I didn't rate the Expo at all. Was there an Abbott stand there, like with their merch?
Yeah. So there was two sides to Abbott's. They had one big Abbott's bit where they tell you about the races, what's involved.
Yeah.
They had a separate stand. It was a really small one right between the entrance and the exit, and that one side where they literally sold the merch. But they never have that much merch. And I think even when you go on their website, it's a bit sporadic. And when they set up for ages, and it comes back. They haven't got a massive range, to be fair.
I've got to check whether and I must do that actually. I'm going to write myself a little reminder that my times are all on the
your portal, the Abbott's portal.
Yeah, because you can tell them. You get into like new ballots and stuff. I'm going to write this down. You tell them what it is. I'm going to write myself a note.
Absolutely. So with the Abbotts, you register with Abbotts when you first start your journey on the 7 stars now. And each one you get, you should have got an email actually after you completed.
I don't get nothing from them, but I might have unsubscribed.
Yeah, you need to you'd have got an email saying congratulations, you earned yourself a new star.
Yeah, I didn't get nothing.
Yeah, it tells you all the races you've done and gives you your time, your average time, etc. But the most important thing is however, depending on how many you've run, I'm not sure if the ratios change with this 7th thing. They have their own internal ballots. So to get a place in Boston, they have an internal ballot. They don't have many spaces.
No,
but I think it's about 100 spaces. But as long as you've got, I think it's 4 out of the 6 stars, which you now have.
Yeah.
You can go into their ballot for Boston Marathon for next year. And when people say, "Oh, you got no chance," there's a lady at our club.
Again? I can go for a Boston place.
Yeah.
What with 4?
With 4 stars, you can apply for Boston.
I was allowed to go in for.
No, you can go for Boston as well. Boston and Tokyo.
Yeah, but I told you I want to qualify.
Yeah, I get but I don't know if you really said that. You did. I know you. Sorry, you did say you wanted to qualify, but surely getting a ballot place is the same as getting a ballot place at Berlin, New York, London. That's the same thing. I agree with you. You didn't want to get your place given to you or gifted to you in any other way for any other reason. I get that. But surely if you get offered a ballot place, you've got to be absolutely nuts not to accept that. And people that say that they're a bit skeptical about it, saying, "Oh yeah, who actually gets them?" I know a young lady who's very close to us. She's in Chicago, Shireen. She got the Abbott's ballot place for Boston for 2026, and she is absolutely buzzing about it.
When did they draw that?
They drew it about it must have been about 6 weeks ago now. So before the qualifying times come out. So that's the only way you can get into Boston. It's either by running a time, charity place, a sports company, or through the Abbott's ballot. But again, I think I'm going to probably wrong here. I think they give out 100 spaces, something like 100 spaces, and that's it. But a lot of people apply. But she got one, so you're in. You've got to be in it to win it, mate, and you're in it now. So you've got to go full steam ahead.
I don't know if I do. I want to qualify.
I get that, but you can still qualify. Just because you go and run it in a ballot, that doesn't mean you're not going to carry on the next year. Go to Boston and run a Boston qualifier in Boston. How cool would that be?
I'll tell you what, that would be pretty epic, wouldn't it?
That
would be. That would be bloody hard. Yeah. I'd have to train really hard for that. But I don't know. As I said, I'm not one for the influencer brand opportunity. That's not me. I'm too pig-headed. Again, I've got nothing against people taking them. But not me personally. I don't know, bruv. I don't know. Even with the ballot, it's still Don't sit.
If you go to that cupboard tonight and you go in there and there's some Pringles and they've been opened, there's a few there, you're going to put your hand in and grab some. It's the same with this.
There's none left. I ate before.
There you go. When this comes up, this email, and it says, do you want to jump in the ballot for a place at Boston? You're going to be like, oh, I've got to go for it. You have to.
Yeah, I suppose. It's a funny old one, isn't it? Anyway, we do want to talk about New York. But before we do want to talk about New York, I've got two things to talk about. Actually, three things. Just quickly touch on. Now I've done the Chicago, I thought I'd update you with my ratings.
Interesting.
Because you famously, after the New York City Marathon on video, rated the majors that you've done. And it's still a great bit of video now. But I want to know, I wanted to share with you my updated scale of where they're sitting. Now I've done Chicago. So I'm going to put London at the top. Okay. For me personally, as someone who's done it about 1 million times, all for charity, by the way. You're welcome. Just get that in there for it. I don't think you can beat our hometown crowd. I honestly, there's something about London that's epic. But I am going to put Chicago in a strong second place. And I mean strong second place. It was neck and neck at one point, but I think Chicago takes it in terms of over New York, in terms of the experience as a runner. I think New York, and we're going to talk about New York. I think New York is a whole weekend and the crowds and everything like that. It is an experience to behold. It's something slightly different to the others. And then obviously you've got Berlin. Again, Berlin's Berlin. It's all right. I like the start. That's about it.
Finish.
Finish. Yeah, good point. Yeah, the finish. Funnily enough, I've entered the ballot for that again. We might as well. In for a penny, in for a pound.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There's something. I thought Chicago. It surprised me. It just felt really like I don't know, just like it's like a rut. It's like a runner's crowd.
That's what I'm comfortable.
It's like in Chicago, in New York, everybody's out there having a great time, cheering you on, and they want the best for you. It just felt like there was like runners in the crowd cheering you. Does that make any sense? Like it was a different vibe. It's hard to explain, but I talk about it in the video. It's like they were like physically willing you on, like a bit like London. Where New York, they're just screaming at you because they're so like in it. There was something different about the crowd. I don't know what it was, but the course also, because the course was runnable versus New York. Like again,
true.
I think that lent itself to it. It just felt, and whilst Berlin feels exceptionally fast out of the gates, it was something about Chicago where I really felt you could build momentum, and the momentum with the crowd built as well. That's kind of where I'm at with. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so they had they reckon they estimated 1 million supporters out on course at Chicago, and whereas I think New York probably is about the same, but the difference between New York and Chicago is the first 3 miles in New York. For those of you running it next weekend, you're up on the Arizona Bridge, and there's no spectators there because they've shipped you miles out of town to come back in. So there's no spectators. So you've got that about 3 miles or so that's blanked out where you're not really going to get spectators. You've got a couple of bridges. You've got the big one, the horrible one, just after halfway that you go over. There's no spectators on that. So those 1 million people, even though they're the same as Chicago, they're more concentrated into spaces. So there's parts of New York where they have to fill them people up. So they get deeper and deeper, and they get more, as you said, they're more shouty at you. They're really, really going for it. And so some people will thrive on that. For me, myself, sometimes it could be a little bit overwhelming, a bit too much. Yeah. So for me, I like the fact that Chicago, someone did say before, they said it's the only world major where the support literally, as soon as you cross the start line, there is people on the left and right. I know you go under that bridge, but even under the bridge, there's people there. And then there's people lined basically dribs the whole entire way.
I think London, you get that.
Yeah, you do. I get what you mean with London. I really do. And it is my hometown. And I want to love it. And I want to put it up there more than all the rest. For me, the start of London, the year I run it with you, we run in that, it's the Yellow Wave. And you go up the hill where the priest is and stuff like that. And the year previous to that, I didn't do that bit. So I did prefer that, because the year before that I just done it over
Definitely
the
a better
speed bumps.
start, mate. Because obviously I've done that crap one that you did all those
Yeah,
years.
it didn't feel the same.
No, it feels different. The start that I usually do, I prefer.
Yeah, no, so I'll say I totally get that. But yeah, I was just sort of highlighting the fact that there's a couple of points in London where I don't know, it didn't have as much of a feel. But there's other points in London where they're absolutely incredible, and being at home is always going to feel like that. So I totally get why you're putting that right up there, number one. I do get it.
Yeah, but don't, as I said, Chicago is an extremely close second. Like it was up there, bruv. It was an absolute belter in all aspects. I think it had I think it probably had the worst expo. But other than that, it was phenomenal. And what made me laugh is the fact that you said the expo was going to be good. You said to me, "Oh yeah, it's really good, the expo in Chicago." So total and utter shit.
It's an expo. An expo's an expo. Apart from it being like, I don't know. I didn't think the only thing I didn't like was one of the aisles. They have it all the expos is marathons. I don't know. They're selling pots and pans and knives. I don't like all that.
Why are they giving out Colgate toothpaste and
No,
Ariel
I know.
Persil washing machines? None of it made any sense.
Yeah,
None
I
of
get
it.
that.
It
Yeah, I
was
hear you.
total and utter rubbish. It really was, and I'm being polite because I've just realised how much we swore in the video recently. Second thing, weirdly, check this out. Have you noticed how hot all the majors are this year? Like
This is true.
Berlin, 3,000 degrees.
Yep.
London,
London,
mentally,
hot. Yeah.
yeah. Chicago,
It was
when we
hot.
finished that, when we hit 21 miles, bruv, it felt like London hot. Like it was 21, 22 degrees or whatever that is.
Yeah.
But it felt really hot.
You need a sun cream. You need a sun
It
cream out
really,
there.
I
Yeah.
couldn't sit in the park after because
Yeah.
it was too hot for me. What was Tokyo like? Can you remember what people had out there this year? I can't remember. Did they have it wet?
I can't remember, but it is early in the year, and I think that Tokyo. I remember the year I done Tokyo. I think it's about a week before going. I asked Alexa. I said, "Alexa, what's the weather like in Tokyo?" It was actually snowing.
Yeah.
So I think at that time of year, where I don't think it's the hottest time of year for them anyway. So it definitely doesn't stand out. Whereas you just described perfectly the three marathons that stood out this year: Berlin, London, and Chicago. All three of them were hot. Berlin, absolutely,
and they're
exceptionally hot.
traditionally fast marathons.
Yeah.
And everybody who's gone there has struggled with the heat, and rightly so. You normally, of course, you would. It's bloody hot, but
But did you see the guy that won Chicago? He was literally on for sub 2, wasn't he? He was on for a sub 2 hour, and he was like matching like for like that Kip Limo's from before, and he's just like, sorry, Kipton's from before, and you think he's going to do this, and then literally in the last few miles, I think it was the heat. It just got to him, and he just started to drop off a little. Yeah, it got so hot. So, but again, good to ask you that question. Actually, we spoke about on the last marathon talk. Did you like the fact that, because it scares some people, the fact that Chicago Marathon, you have to be in your pens and it starts so early? Did you prefer that, or do you prefer that more of a London start?
I liked it because I was already awake. If I was an American, I'd probably have the ump.
It's early. It is early.
You know, but I liked it because we was staying in town, so I was able to get up like normally, like I would for London, like 5 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? And or whatever it was, maybe just before, but whatever, you know, to make sure I've had my breakfast and stuff, and then just walk 20 minutes and I was there. I was very fortunate. You know, most people don't have that luxury because we were staying in a really nice hotel. So, yeah, I think if that was London, it would. I think it would sting a bit.
So
You know?
yeah,
it's a little bit lively. It's just like the guys in Sydney, and it's a bit too lively. I think for that sort. I don't know. It's a bit weird.
It is, but you would avoid it if we'd have started at 9 o'clock, 9:30. We'd have been out there like. For fair play to the runners that were out there for 6 hours,
Mate.
6.5 hours, 7 hours. God, it was so hot, burning like 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Fair play to them. They had a real old tough day out there.
That is true. And also, I'm somebody who does my long runs at 7 o'clock in the morning anyway through summer. So for me, it's not a hell of a lot of difference anyway. I'm up and I'm getting it done. So I'm one of those, you know, I'm quite lucky like that. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have a problem. What I did have a problem with is that some of my mate told me it's really flat and there's bridges. And you're a liar, because it was definitely moments in there.
Chicago's flat. It's flat as anything.
There's definitely moments in there when I thought to myself, is he taking the piss? because
little hump, you come straight back down. That's it. There's no incline.
I think when you're pushing, you notice them. It's like when, as I said to you, when I ran Great North Run this year, and I went for it, I really noticed the hills more than I ever have done. It's only because when you're pushing it. Right, New York, my friend. So we both ran New York. We was out there. Hayden was got his 6th star while I was out there. What's your overriding sort of takeaway from doing New York?
The difficulty. If I be plainly honest, you might not want to listen. If you're listening to that and you're doing it next week, it's your first time, you don't know much about the course. You can't sugarcoat it. It's difficult. It's a difficult course. Tough.
Yeah, tough. It doesn't not take care of you. It doesn't leave much room for error. I would say you've got to be on your game. In fairness, I've obviously been training with Simon again this summer because he's back into marathon training and he's doing New York, and actually I'll give him credit again for my performance in Chicago because I've been doing the hills with him. So we switched our normal route this year over to I wouldn't say for anybody who lives in like Devon, it's not hilly, but for us it is, right? But so we've been putting in hills as much as we can, and I definitely benefit from that 100%. And and give him credit, he's respected the course. I didn't respect the course when I trained for it, and he's been doing all of his long runs with elevation. So yeah, as you say, I think the course is great. The one thing I think about the course, other than the bridges, was how long the straights were.
Oh God, yeah, it's that first.
Anyone listening to this is going to be having anxiety now.
No, we should be praising how brilliant. Because don't get me wrong, New York is a brilliant marathon.
Yeah, we'll come on to that.
Brilliant, yeah. But no, you're right. Since it's because you come off that bridge bit and you're not in the best of moods, and you come down, you go on First Avenue and you look up and you can see for about 4 miles ahead of you. Oh. Like God, that's a long road. Yeah,
it's a long one. Just you've got to be prepared for that, guys. It's not like if you look up, you're gonna think, oh, I've got to run all the way down that, and it is that. That's one of the benefits. Again, that's why I think the course in Chicago was good. We had elements of everything. We was like, I wouldn't say twisty turny stuff, but you'd come to an end and you would loop back, or there was definitely bits in which it made it a little bit interesting, other than those big long straights of New York. It was like big long straights, I'll have a bridge. Big long straights, I'll go up a hill. Well, it was like that. The other thing I would say is the noise. We spoke about the crowds. Yeah. When you do get crowds, it will take your breath away. It will give you so much adrenaline. It's like 20 deep and they're all on your side and they're all cheering you on. And they're like, literally, there's no barriers or nothing. They're like on the course with you. It's crazy.
It's like the Tour de France. You see them gathering around the bikes and you're like, God, a bit close. It feels like that.
It's quite intimidating in some areas. It's quite intimidating, especially if you're near somebody that they know. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, you're in bank. They will literally run onto the course and grab you like them. Yeah, and scream at them. You've got to be aware that's coming your way. It's a massive sensory overload, New York. It's epic, but it's a real like full-on experience that you've got to be ready for. I don't know about you, mate. It's definitely not one, and I'm hoping to go back there at some point. But it's definitely not one that I would ever put down to run a time on.
Oh, ever. No, absolutely. And because of the crowds, everything else is there. I think that's the best thing about it. Is about going out there, enjoying it. I did, if I'm honest with you, I started New York thinking I was going to run a time. Not the best time, but I wanted to run a good time. And I realised by the time I got to mile, I think about 16, 17, I was like, there is no way this is happening. So I just wanted to get done and get finished. So I did jog it in slow, nothing like that. But I backed off, realising it's not sensible to really go hard on this course.
I was the same. I was like, all right, I'll go sub 4, 350 something. I'll get round this. Mile 16 just ate me up and spat me out the other end and went, this is New York, son. You don't come here and do that. It was just like, and you just got to massively respect it. But I would say enjoy it as well. There's some really good, nice points on the course, isn't there? I mean, I like the start.
I love the start.
You and I have said that a million times. The moment him and I were on that bridge and they sent that cannon, we spoke about this before. The cannon going off and the New York, and all this sort of stuff.
And the bridge is epic.
and everyone's going over the bridge, and you all seem to be going over in tandem with each other, and it's a really cool experience. And then you come down and you hit your first lot of crowds. It is, but I think even getting to Staten Island's like pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it can, yeah, it is. But again, like you talked about sensory overload and things. Again, be prepared for that on marathon day. That's you're getting up early, a bit like Chicago,
really
and you've got a long way to the start. It's logistically like getting to where the coach point is, getting on the coach, and then the coach doing the journey. Then you get off that, then you go into the village. It's just something just to be aware of. Don't think to yourself it's like
a lot
a
of sitting
Chicago.
about.
Yeah,
A lot
it's
of
like
sitting
Chicago where you
about.
just walk into your pen and then you start the race. There is a lot of waiting around that. Be prepared for that. And it's as you said, be prepared for that with regards to fueling. Be prepared for that. Keep him warm. Everything else, just know you might. I think I left my hotel just before 6 in the morning. I don't think we started the race till about 9:30, 10. So
My
it's a
bus
long
was
time.
at 5 o'clock, bruv. My
Was
coach
it?
was my coach was at 5 o'clock to take me.
Right.
And I remember sitting on it and I was eating basically cream crackers, you know, like dry biscuity things. I'd had my porridge like normal, but I was conscious of the fact I weren't running. What was it till like 11 o'clock or whatever it was, 10:30. Like, Jesus, I've still got another 4 hours. I still need to fuel a little bit. And I was sitting on the bus eating them, but it was quite cool. It was quite the coach was calm. The coach was quiet. I don't know, something kind of out of body experience, like going along there.
I get that.
And as you say, but I think you've got to be prepared that when you do go out there, you're going to be waiting about. You're going to have to stay warm. A lot of people, you're literally just sitting on curbs and all this sort of stuff. There's.
I'd also say don't be stressed as well. When you first go to where the big main coach pickup point is, it's off Times Square. There's the coaches are going non-stop from there, but the queue is honestly when you first see it, you panic. You think, God, am I going to make this? Am I going to be late? Don't worry, don't panic. Everyone else in that queue is starting roughly the same time as you. It goes literally, it snakes up and down, sometimes around the block. But just stay in the queue. They're taking like 60 people at a time. There's so many coaches. Just stay with it. Don't panic. Don't rush. Don't get stressed about it. Yeah, just stand in the queue.
I would say on the course, halfway, I can't even remember halfway coming and going. It was a bit of a blur again. It was like a wall of sound, I think. I don't really remember halfway, but the sort of the other big part of the bridge is the sort of the really cool bit. It was awful. It was also awful, but cool. Was as you came into Central Park, that mile 24, that climb, that hill. Be prepared for.
You're really selling this one to people, aren't you?
Yeah, we're only going to get 900,000 downloads this week. But like that climb up to the side of Central Park, and I'll never forget it. I was run walking it, and I was run walking it with this guy who was, I think he knew the channel and that lot, and we was just lazy laughing, just saying how rude we felt. Like we had literally nothing, but the crowds were like mental down there. But it was like, this is tough, man. But then you came into Central Park, and it's like another layer of sound was added onto it. And again, everybody felt on top of you because there's no barriers. It was narrow-ish anyway. It's obviously feels busy because the amount of people going through it. And you're winding your way through Central Park. But it really did feel electric in there, doesn't it? It is a really cool. You turn right into Central Park. It's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's right at the point where you need it as well, because it is a tough thing. By the time you get there, doesn't matter. I don't care how fit you are, how fast you are. You're going to get there, and it's going to be. You're looking at a tough moments of it, and you need that crowd. And it makes you, as we spoke about on the pod last week, just look around, look at the crowds, look at the signs they're holding up. Take your mind off what that feeling's like in your legs, and you see the people's smiles, and they're just so invested in you.
Yeah.
Just like these people have come out and they're so invested in you. They want you to get you over that line. And you're like, I'm going to do it for them. Even though they're a stranger I've never met before.
Yeah, it's cool.
Keep coming.
I do think it's got a good finish. I do think it's not as good as Berlin. And I would say Berlin's got one of the best finishes that I've done. London, obviously.
Yeah.
I think London's just a cracking finish. Chicago, whatever.
No, I get that.
Yeah. But I would say New York was kind of cool finishing in the park. That was kind of nice. Yeah. We're going to get shot. You then got a mile walk afterwards. When you finish, you get your stuff, and then you've got a mile walk out to just just to get the spectators and stuff like that. So just be prepared for that. That when you finish your run, you're actually doing 27.2 miles that day.
And it's difficult. It's difficult to meet up with friends and family as well. 'Cause as you
Yeah.
said, you walk out the top of Central Park, you turn left, then you start coming back down Central Park. Then it's like alleyways from your alphabetical name where your family and that can meet you. But it's busy around there. It's really busy. Be prepared for that. Get your people come out to watch you. Let them be prepared for that, knowing that it's really, really crowded.
I would say, well, I'll just come on to tips now. I would say in terms of that, the finishing bit, the day before, there's an event on down there anyway, but go down there, and we did it, me and bro. We went down and we picked a point that we were going to meet at.
Good shout.
Now, we used, anybody who's movie likes the films and stuff, we used the Ghostbusters building.
Yeah.
That's what we use as our reference point. You'll see, if you know Ghostbusters, you'll know what I mean. But we used the Ghostbusters. We said, and that was our sort of thing. We said, right, we're going to meet outside the Ghostbusters building. So go and find somewhere to meet after, and pre-plan where you're going to do that, because it's a bit of a because everyone's got to walk out. So other than that tip, is there anything else that sort of you can impart on people as they're heading maybe for their first New York City Marathon?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I would say you got to do. If you've got time on the Friday, go down to that Parade of Nations. You see all the different countries sort of coming through, and once you get to the countries like your Trinidad and Tobago, the South Africans, and that they're so wild. And they're like dancing. It's a great atmosphere. They let fireworks off, and it just adds to that experience of the day. I don't know if you'll be doing. I done the 5K official run on the day before.
Yeah.
If I'm honest with you, it was just a 5K run. It wasn't that special, but
did you get a medal in that?
No medal. You got a hat. But no medal at all. So yeah, and
bobble hat.
It was a bobble hat. Yeah. But you've done a good thing of it is you do finish in Central Park under the New York Marathon finish line. So
nice.
You get to experience that sort of day before. But again, I think a lot about it is listen to what we've just said about the podcast and on the podcast about the start. The fact that it takes a long time to get there. Be prepared. Have a few snacks for you, a few bits of food. Take clothing with you to keep you warm. You can always throw it away if you don't want to, if it's old clothing, but you're going to regret it if you don't keep yourself warm. Just be prepared. It's a long day. Don't panic and stress, because I was the worst one when I was there. I was standing in that queue thinking, I'm going to be late. Oh, I was so early. It was unbelievable. The queue goes, just don't panic. You have to have it in your mind thinking you're going out here to run one of the world's oldest and greatest marathons, and you're going to absolutely love it. So just...
I mean, we've spoke, I wouldn't say negatively about it, but what I would like to put across to you is I think it's one of the best marathons to run. It is phenomenal. The experience of running through the boroughs of New York, it really is something else. It's a moment that you will stay with you. Some of those crowds, honestly, they'll be with you to the time they put you in the ground. It's an epic race. It's an epic finish as well. I really enjoyed the finish. The guy on the mic and all this. I just remember it all now, like just how cool
comes
it
back
was.
to it, doesn't it? Yeah. And I've now got 14 majors medals, and my New York one's the best by a mile.
But yeah, I think the medal, the New York medal, what you're talking about, is my favorite medal. I've got mine up there. It's without doubt the best. This is how I wanted to end the show. Like, I ranked the races, but I want to rank their medals. Now I've got. I mean, you're the best person. You've got bloody loads of them, but I think for me, the New York one is the best.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Chicago one, I think, is probably the worst.
You ain't done Tokyo yet. Honestly, everyone we speak to, even was in Chicago at the expo, there's people there. I was with a lady called Caroline, and she run Tokyo this year. I said to her, look at that medal. They have got the 6 up there, then the big 6 one.
Yeah.
You see Tokyo, it's not an embarrassment. That's a bit harsh, but yeah, it is poor. It needs to be bad. New York, it just wipes the floor of them. It's brilliant.
If you are running New York, that medal is going to not only feel great, it's going to look great. It is the biggest, solidest, most monumental, heavy piece of bling you're ever going to get. It's phenomenal. It's going to be worth it, guys and girls, because I think you're going to have a great day. I don't think there's anything else. Thanks to everybody for tuning into our little marathon talk we do. We will come back. I think we'll do one, Hayden, looking into next year. Should we? Doing a bit.
Yeah, great. As you said, we've got a lot of. We haven't even had time to talk about the fact that last week, it'd be last week now, Cape Town started. There'll be big announcements after New York. with regards to Cape Town for next year. So yeah, loads to talk about.
Yeah,
in
it's
the whole
about Shanghai.
marathon
I've got
world.
a list. I've got noted to talk about Shanghai. There's that to talk about. So there's loads to talk about as always. If you want us to talk about anything on Marathon Talk, drop us an email, hello@fordyruns.com, and we'll pick that up on the show. But yeah, that's it. I can't believe we've done another one of these. It's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, thanks to everybody who likes this style that we do. We'll be back live hopefully next week. I'm not 100% sure when this is going out, but should be live. And we'll catch up with you guys soon. Thanks, buddy. I shall see you guys later.